Let me describe for you a conversation as it gets difficult and what might happen. And then I'll describe for you how you might use awareness of your own openness as the conversation gets difficult. So let's imagine that you're telling me that on our next vacation, we're going to go see your mother. I don't want to go see your mother. I don't want to spend my vacation seeing your mother. You say this, and I start to close down a little bit. And as I start to close down a little bit, you sensing that start to talk a little louder about going to see your mother. And as you talk a little louder, I close down a little bit more. And as I close down a little bit more, you talk a little louder and a little faster. And as you talk a little louder and a little faster, I close down more. And now you're talking louder and faster and you're repeating yourself, and I'm completely closed. And so are you. And now we have two people trying very hard to communicate, completely closed. That's a state known as flooding. And it's a state in which you cannot communicate. First of all, if you try, you won't be heard. And secondly, it's actually a dangerous state to try to communicate from. Trying to communicate with closed apertures actually that's the state from which we're most likely to be hurt and to hurt the other person. The way that you don't go there is that in the conversation, as it gets difficult, you're alert to your own openness. And instead of proceeding, you pause to adjust something either outside of you or inside of you. So that same conversation would look differently. You say to me that we're going to your mother's for the vacation. I start to close down. You then start to talk a little louder. We're going to my mother's for vacation. I close down a little bit more. And at that point, it occurs to me this is getting difficult. It occurs to me, gee, what's my aperture right now? How open am I? And as I check in, I realize, I was an 8 when we started, and now I'm not even a 5. I'm a 4. That's not good to go. And in fact, I'm on the way to flooded, and I don't want to go there, and I don't want you to go there. So instead, I pause and I call a timeout and I say, hold on a second. I'm really trying to listen to what you say, and I really want to have this conversation with you, and I care about what you're saying. But when you talk this intensely and this loudly to me, I have trouble listening, and I start to shut down. So I want to have this conversation better, and I want to be able to listen to you. If it's possible for you to talk a little slower and a little more softly, I think I can listen better. Now imagine, you can probably feel in your own aperture right now what it would feel like to be talked to like that. Instantly, I've signaled you, you matter to me. What you're saying matters to me. I'm going to try my very best to hang in there, see if you can give me some help. And it motivates both of you to do better. And that's what you're looking for. And so my aperture starts to open, your aperture starts to open. And now you have a better chance of being heard about what you want for our vacation. That's what it looks like to pay attention to your openness as a conversation gets difficult.